Hello everyone, we talk about interlanguages. What is interlanguage? According to the presentation, show that interlanguage is a language system created for learners that learn a new languages. It have a premise that show that for example, the premise of interlanguage learners construct their own grammar. The grammar change over time, and another premise show that the learners use learning strategies. Um, inter- Interlanguage is fossilization. What is fossilization? Is that to the for example, in Spanish is common to use the verb ser o estar. In English is verb to be, and if is confused that 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 this structure, but it's necessary to show the correct form. That is, we have 20 years old. Another example, it have that the discourse and interaction in interlanguages is that the discourse is languages used in conversation in communication. What is important in interaction? Interaction helps the learners understand and negotiate the meaning. For example, speaker 1 mentioned that the speaker A, could you repeat that? Is speaker B mentioned that of course, I mean the homework for tomorrow. In this conversation, in shortest conversation, this negotiation improves comprehension. It's important to mention that the box is that they show that how act your mind when you learn a new languages. Four parts is input, intake, and to knowledge. The learners listening, hear, reading about the interactive conversation, read books, watch videos in English, the second language, and the intake is that they select the most important information about structure, vocabulary, and that the L2 knowledge is that the organized practice of from intake, and output is your used the second languages in writing and speaking. What is the more what is psycholinguistic aspect? Psycholinguistic aspect is that to transfer the first languages and second languages. Acquisition, for example, is divided two parts. Positive transfer is a similar structure help learning. For example, I to compare the Spanish and the English. It is similar vocabulary and you understand. For example, she is my mother. In Spanish is that is mi mamá. Or negative transfer is transfer the error for the first languages. For example, I have 20 years. What is universal grammar in critical period? Um, is how learners learn a second languages in Chomsky mentioned that the universal grammar, the humans are born with the innate abilities. In the critical period, mentioned that the children learn languages more easily than adults. Um, what is the conclusion in this aspect? That the interlanguage is a natural process. First, second, error as a part of learning, and the social interaction is the more essential in this course because is real interaction is in real conversation, and learners gradually improve their languages system. I continue to explain that display error and error analysis. It's important to define two terms, that is error versus mistake. Error is a gap. Is I don't understand or know that the rules in second languages. While the mistake is you know the rules of grammatical aspect, but you forget or you nervous, you forget the rules. For example, that mentioned in this part, um, she error. She go to the school. Okay, the structure is it's okay. It's the subject, verb, and complement, but the verb is not okay because it's that the three person. A mistake is the same error, the same incorrect form that the learners understand what is the mistake in these sentences and correct the correct form. For example, I sorry, she goes she he goes to the school. Uh, this is the differences. What is the important in the error analysis? It's important because you the teacher or the teacher um, uh, know the process that the learners. Second, um, error show learning process. Learners can improve through correction. What is the stage? The stage of error analysis is four stages. The one is that identify. Another is identify. Um, the error is to compare to compare the correct with the correct languages. Another is describe, divide into types error that mention omission, misorder, and omission is to omit words, missing words, a misorder to wrong the order in the sentences. An explain error is that the overrealization is to omit the articles in plural is s, and the transfer L1 divide in interlingual in intralingual. Interlingual is source about the L2. Intralingual is transferred the to second languages. Another type is that the evaluate error that is to local. No, global error is the whole sentences, they affect the whole sentences. And the local is to affect the one element and the of the sentences. Conclusion: the from error natural process in second language acquisition. And second language acquisition In this case, I talk about the silent period. Silent period is then the learners listening more than speak. Understand between speaking, but use phrase not not speaking frequently in interaction of the classes. For example, the speaker or the teacher mentioned that open your book. Okay, understand the instruction, but not doesn't speaking. Early stage of second language acquisition is silent period, only listening the learners, not speech. In early production is that they use a single word, short phrases, yes, hello, no, don't worry. Is divided two parts, that is a formulaic chunk that is use phrases, collocation, phrasal verbs, and another is prepositional is that mention that the phrases that not correct form. For example, mention that the me no problem. Okay, is not the correct form, but to understand, the correct form is I don't understand. Um, what is that the grammatical structure is acquisition. In this case, mention that is gradually learning in a process. Is a predicate order. Learners through expose about practice. For example, mention he go to the school. Okay, it's not correct form. The correct form is she goes to the school. Either learner and learners use the most correct form in this aspect. You shaped learning is a process. The first step is that use the correct form to 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 know about this structure to the verb went, but another situation to not use that the correct form to use go it. Why to use go it? For example, to is the irregular verb and to learn that I confuse in this part. And another part and final part is street three to use the correct form again. To understand that is the correct form and you used in different aspects. The structuring is you reorganize languages knowledge. Error are part of process. Before the structure is she not like a pizza. Okay, you understand, but it's not correct form. Other sentences during the structuring. Okay, the correct the negative form is okay, but it's not correct. After the structuring, she doesn't like pizza. Is the correct form. You understand? Thank you.